Welcome. I am Athos, a fallen one. Do not fear my presence, for I am here not to harm or mislead. I have come to speak of good news. I have come to invite all who see and hear me to join me on a short but difficult journey. I am your guide to the lost gate of Eden. I, Athos, know the way, and have vowed to my Creator, as penance for my rebellion, to lead his chosen to the gate of Eden. I have slain Satan. He exists no longer. All evil upon the earth is done by his fanatic and frightened followers. They know of his death and know that they too will perish soon. But as they flee and run frantically about this planet, they cause pain, death, and suffering to many, for it is their only purpose for existence. All that they know and are compelled by their legacy to continue. We, who rebelled, did so upon man's creation. He did his love for us. We who served him and honored him for eons prior to the creation of man. Then we were told that our duty was to serve man and befriend him and know that he was the perfect creation. That man superseded even Satan, the most beautiful and most honored of all in heaven. We, the seraphim, the most perfect of God's servants, would not serve a new creature who knew nothing of us or our great wisdom. This knowledge was forbidden, for man was to be innocent and all-knowing of only the good and virtues of existence. All evil and darkness were to be hidden from man, so a perfect creation of light and devotion to God would rule the universe and ascend to the throne of heaven and share the glory and wonder and love that was known only to his angels, as we his highest and most honored beings. You may well understand how after thousands of millenniums the affront man was to all who came before him. The greatest affront to Satan, the most beautiful and highest of all God's creations. Satan believed he was equal to his Creator. He believed that he ruled the universe in his name. He believed that his birthright, his station, was always to be at the right hand of God's throne, as did all who were his friends and followers. We did not understand that it was our Creator who created us for this purpose. He saw the vanity and arrogance in our rank, and the allegiance we had to Satan. It was Satan's lies to us that made us question God. His purpose, our purpose. We were created immortal, but even this greatest of all gifts had its limitations. Its endlessness created within us a boredom, for we were unable to understand that only in God does eternal joy and wonder exist. Only in subservience to him are our lives made complete. And now I and many others have realized our folly, and that ruling on earth in darkness is far inferior to serving in heaven. This planet was once Eden. Yes, it was the perfect planet in all the universe, created by the most splendid thoughts of its creator, to be given to his most perfect creation to rule forever. And its beauty and perfection rivaled heaven. Its brilliance and splendor and bounty made all in heaven marvel with wonder at what great creature would be so honored to inhabit this perfect world of new and remarkable colors and glory. Oh, how we were certain that our great and glorious Creator had created this new world for his hierarchy of angels, I being one and close to the mighty Satan. It was then, upon the seventh day, when man was created from the new firmament of this world, that we of the hierarchy were informed of his place as the most perfect creation ever to mirror the image of his Creator, and to have a physical body for the sole purpose of complete physical pleasure, unknown to us, who existed in an immortal spirit. We did not have the power to create or to reprocreate, only to transform and imitate. This power was only given to man and the lower creatures who inhabited this new world. We thought how wonderful man was that the Creator would allow man the power to create himself through a perfect mate. This was too great an insult to us, who knew then that we were created as inferiors to man. But if we could infect man with a knowledge of fear and pain, we would rule the planet and gain superiority over them. Then the new world would truly be ours, even if we had to share it with man. And we could always exterminate him. How foolish we were, how vain and conceited, how diabolical we became in our lust and jealousy, which turned us into beings we ourselves never thought we would become. We became demons, deformed and horrid to look upon. Our hatred turned into wickedness as our spirits embraced the darkness to hide our hideous deformity. We could not look upon each other without seeing even greater horror of that and what had befallen us. And then to see Satan's glory and beauty, once rivaled only by God, to become the most hideous and horrible of all. His cries of anguish and anger were heard throughout the universe, as God's curse upon him and his followers was made known to all of creation. As man had been blemished by evil, so was he to learn evil and punishment, and would be banished from Eden and learn upon his own how to return to perfect innocence. As he only knew pleasure and joy, he would learn pain and suffering, and to shorten his punishment, he would become mortal, and his body would return to the earth, but his spirit would be eternal, and live again with God, but only if man could endure his hardships and remain faithful to God, who promised him his eternal soul would rise to heaven. If man chose darkness and despair and let evil rule his soul, then he would remain on earth to suffer again and again until his eternal death in oblivion. We, as the cursed followers and fallen ones, were expelled from heaven and came to Eden. We felt we had earned, but God's curse upon us remained, as we were repelled by man. his distrust for us turned to condemnation, and instead of receiving our sympathy and accepting our rule over him, he cursed our deformity and begged God for mercy and protection. And upon man's remorse and penitence, God promised him the chance for redemption, but only to come in great time and after many generations, until only the generation that had unwavering faith in him and would cast off all evil to be born again in innocence, only would he be led to the gate and enter the land of Eden. Here I am, Athos, the fallen seraphim, the assassin of Satan. I have always known the entrance to Eden, but could never enter until mankind and I were redeemed. Oh, we who have fallen so far, many who will never be seen again, have taken countless souls with them to oblivion. But I have always believed the promise that there would be a generation of man that would overcome the curse of Satan, and upon that time I would request from God and them that I may lead them to the gates of Eden, and enter with them as their eternal guide and servant, and to enlighten them with the wisdom and knowledge of God's wonder, and guide their eternal journey onwards to their own godlike perfection, into the embrace of the Creator, so near his mind and spirit in heaven. Come with me now, as I enter the darkness of eternal madness, into the lost realm of haunted souls, into the great darkness that blinds the seer to the suffering of others. The darkness is as a blanket, thick and coarse, suffocating, silent, wet, and hanging. Enter as I, and follow my voice. Fear nothing. Hold the hands of the one who walks ahead of you and behind you. If they fall or slip, help them up. If they run in fear, do not follow them. Keep walking until you grasp another outreached hand and then continue slow and steady forward. There is nothing to fear, for all is darkness, all is silent, all is eternal. Walk as if in sleep, each step forward. Listen only to my voice. I am your guide to Eden. I have been there and back again, and know the way. I warn all who follow me that I do not lead you to heaven. I lead you to the gateway that has been lost for countless generations. I lead you to the gate of Eden, which through the ages of evil and ignorance became overgrown and hidden, fallen to the powers of darkness, hidden by Eden eons of geological changes, guarded by illusions of man's darkened imagination, confused by myth and legend, sought for by criminals and pilgrims and others for power, wealth, and fame, only to find madness, death, and oblivion. You may hear their whispers, as dark winds blowing, groping through darkness, souls wandering aimlessly, Here they will remain forever entombed by their desires of power, wealth, and fame, forever blinded to the light and direction of Eden. There are fools consumed by decadence and greed, who now, as I speak, search the planet for the gate to Eden. These fools do not know they are blind. Before they can see Eden's light, they must remove all garment and ornament from his body. All worldly desires are forbidden in Eden, and nothing is owned. In Eden the soul is innocent. There is only love and spiritual life, all merging into each other within the eternal light. Now we have begun to arrive in the light of Eden as the dawn of our lives. Place all fear and hatred aside and unclothe your bodies as you walk to the light. No lust or worldly desires can you retain, except for the faith, love, and light of Eden. All enter who can. I cannot enter with them. Not until my mission is done and all who believe me are led into Eden. Then it is I who must close the gate. Once I have entered and leave all behind who do not believe, they will remain in the madness of their illusions, to fall by their confusion into the abyss of oblivion. I say farewell to those who faltered. Perhaps you may find your way back to the beginning. I offer you no warning other than my words of experience as a fallen angel and Satan's assassin. Only love, faith, innocence, and redemption can lead you to Eden. And to all who have entered by following me, you are now safe forever and have found your destinies. I'm L.A. Steele. I'm not trying to be politically correct this evening. Smoking on camera against the advices of everyone. But since the World Trade disaster and since we've declared war on Afghanistan, I've been rather compelled to live it up a little bit. There's strange zigzagging of emotions that I've been through, and I'm sure everyone else has. But overall, we're still here. And I hope that the show this evening might have inspired someone. There's still hope and there's still a world. And My last, my closing comments this evening is a poem that I wrote, and I've been writing over the last few weeks, as it all kind of came together for me, this tragedy and what it means to us and the nation. And the name of this poem is called Devil's Breath. We are still here, waiting for the next explosion in a terror-filled vacuum, waiting for the fire to end. Falling lifeless in a casualty of the World Trade disaster, leaping from 100 stories hand in hand. One wonders if it is easier to die with someone else or alone in a long descent. I am lost in this lonely fall, drifting from emotion to emotion, dashing against beliefs to my horrific end. But it is not ended yet. It will not end, as all souls that die are born again. Isn't it said that somewhere in the universe, between God and man, souls live in Elysium, suspended from earthly ties, bonds of hatred and pain, and paranoid hallucinations? Somewhere in the darkness of rage, the eyes of a demon glow, drawing us closer to the fires of war and the oblivion of revenge. Far, far and further fall women and men into the abyss of sorrow and suffering, dashing downward in deceit, downward, dashing downward into despair. Far, far and further down into the darkest realm, where the eyes of a demon's glow with glee at the total madness of warring humanity. War caused by madmen on suicide missions, flying into towers with American souls on the fire breath of fear. Mouths of coward cultists howling Allah in the darkest possession of spirit, attacking the American soul, empowering jet engines by the horror of lives strangled in death's hold. Feel and smell the devil's breath blow, attacking the towers of the financial world with hatred, fire, dust, and smoke. Hear the laments and songs of men, women, and children, and their prayers for the missing. Hear and feel the nightmare, ending the dream of reason and the loss of American innocence. Good night.